In Chapter 2, we mentioned the four Hebrew consonants Aleph, He, Chet, and Ayin, which because they are pronounced back in the throat are called gutturals. In Chapter 2, we discussed one major tendency of the guttural consonants, that they take a compound schwa instead of a simple vocal schwa. Now, a second feature of the guttural consonants is also important. The gutturals resist doubling. In other words, because they're said far back in the throat, it's very difficult to double the letter. Letters which are spoken with your lips or forward in your mouth can be fairly easily doubled, like a P sound, pa-pa. That's much more difficult to do with a het, kh. And in this reason, dagesh forte will almost never be found in a guttural consonant. Similarly, in fact, resh will behave as a guttural in many cases, and it will resist the presence of a dagesh forte. When a word normally would have a dagesh forte, but that dagesh forte would have to be placed in either a guttural consonant or a resh, that doubling does not occur and the dagesh forte is not found. Instead, you will find one of two possibilities. First, we can have what is called compensatory lengthening. With three letters, the gutturals Aleph and Ayin and the pseudo-guttural resh, the loss of the dagesh forte, the fact that the guttural or resh will not take a dagesh forte, causes a compensating response. The vowel in front of where that dagesh forte should have been is lengthened. So Aish, Hebrew for fire, if you wish to say the fire, by placing on a definite article, you put on ha, and you wish to double the aleph with the dagesh forte. That doubling cannot occur. Instead, the aleph simply exists without its dagesh forte, and the patach of the definite article lengthens to a kametz. Compensatory lengthening is the response of the preceding vowel to where the dagesh forte should have been. Aish, but ha-aish. Similarly, if one wished to say not ivri, Hebrew, but the Hebrew, ha-ivri, with now a kametz, a lengthened vowel under the definite article. Similarly, ha plus rosh, ha-rosh, the head, with a kametz. Second, you will encounter what is called virtual doubling. With the other two letters, the gutturals he and chet, there is no compensating response for the loss of the dagesh forte. Instead, the vowel that precedes remains the same vowel. So Hebrew, heikal, glossed as temple. When you add ha, you again cannot double the he with the dagesh forte. This form cannot exist. Instead, you simply have ha, he, kal. And the lack of doubling is not compensated for at all. This is called virtual doubling. Similarly, chamor, you cannot double the chet, so we simply have ha-chamor with no change to the preceding vowel. This is what's called virtual doubling, and it occurs with the gutturals he and chet. You will do well to remember the comment from Chapter 1 that linguistic rules, so to speak, are rarely truly rules. These tendencies for compensatory lengthening and virtual doubling are very strong tendencies in Biblical Hebrew. But as in almost everything with languages, exceptions do occur. For instance, the Hebrew word har, hill or mountain country or hill country, when you add a definite article, ha to the front. Because the first consonant which refuses to double is a he, one would expect no change, virtual doubling. But instead we actually get compensatory lengthening, ha-har. Just remember, languages always have exceptions because they are living, changing things. The writing systems you learn to read are simply a reflection of how people have learned to speak, and people often are not completely regular in the way they speak.